Welcome in to episode 70 of everybody's favorite podcast, the Cheesehead the Bear podcast.
Let's go.
We got the Viking here today, Alex Rudinger.
And you got the Bear, Brennan Elgis. Two-man group.
Another two-man pod here.
Yes, the Viking and the Bear taking over, kicking the Packers out of here because they
Get 'em outta
stink.
here. Yep.
They stink.
Jordan Love isn't even that good.
No, he's overrated as hell. We got
Overpaid.
a good show today. Exactly. We could just keep going. They stink.
Yeah.
Cheese is overrated. Just kidding. Totally kidding.
Whoa.
I'm joking. Got a pretty loaded show today. We got some fan questions, so thank you for all the people that gave us some questions. We got the NBA Finals just wrapped up. Shout out to Thunder for winning the chip. Game 7, best 2 words in sports. And then going over to the NFL, we got a game by me. We're going to get the 32-1 QB rankings from me and Alex. And then sports starters. Let's start with the sports starter. What do you got, Alex?
So my sports starter is going to be the arguable GOAT of the UFC, Jon Jones, has just announced his retirement. Well, Dana White announced Jon Jones' retirement. So that makes Tom Aspinall officially the undisputed heavyweight champion, and we can all move on. The heavyweight division can move on now instead of the last 11 months being stuck in this weird purgatory of waiting for whatever the hell Jon Jones wants to do. He's out of there, He's also, that also came with new criminal charges he's facing.
Oh,
Shocker.
sick. Awesome.
Pretty par for the course for Jon Jones, but he's a GOAT, man. He's one of the GOATs of the UFC. I can hear cases for some other guys, but he'd definitely be missed, man. All right.
Just kidding. I wish Connor was here. They're both dealing with some stuff. I think Connor just had a really long weekend, and Mason's just busy. But I wanted to get your opinion on what do you think about him retiring? Do you think I think he was dealing with an injury. I think that's why it was taking so long. Do you think it was just like age and was done, or he was ducking, or the injury was lingering and he just could never get healthy at his age? What do you think the reasoning for him retiring was?
So I think it has a couple factors. Part of it is what they want to say is part of it is that they couldn't get a deal done between the UFC, Jon Jones, and Tom Aspinall. But I mean, from all the reports I've read, man, the UFC offered Jon Jones everything he wanted, even monetarily. The fight when he wanted, how much he got paid, where it was. Like it, they basically gave him this fight on a silver platter. And it wasn't happening. He wanted to fight Alex Pereira. Then there's been rumors of Francis Ngannou coming back to the UFC and possibly having that dream matchup. Then Alex Pereira lost to Magomed, so that kind of slowed the momentum down for that. And I just don't think Jon Jones wanted to fight Tom Aspinall. Yeah. Because Tom Aspinall is one of the most complete all-around heavyweights the UFC has seen since a guy like Jon Jones. When you think of the heavyweight division, it's a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of knockout power, or it's specifically a guy who's really good at wrestling. It's not really much well-rounded guys there in the heavyweight division, at least up until this point. There's a lot of new talent coming in, but I think it had to do with Jon Jones wanting to protect his legacy.
That was my next question I was going to ask. You think him retiring out of nowhere, I guess you could say, hurts his legacy of, like, a lot of people are saying, the Twitter warriors are saying that he's ducking Tom. I was just curious if you think that hurts his legacy at all.
I don't think it hurts his UFC legacy. I think it will put an asterisk on this specific heavyweight title reign. Because, it was something he was like 30 or 20 days away from being the longest reigning heavyweight champion with after he won the belt, and then he defended it once against a geriatric old man in Stipe Miocic.
Sure.
And then didn't fight after that. So there's I think the only blemish on his record is going to be this very last tail end, and when you have as illustrious of a career as Jon Jones has, that's really only a small margin in the bigger grand scheme of his career. So
Yeah, and I was just kind of like throwing scenarios in my head. Who would he fight next then? Tom, who would he fight for that belt then? Casual over here, so I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything. So
no,
like
no, you're dude.
who would you think he fights then?
So there's a big gap lately in the UFC when it comes to, like I was saying, with the heavyweight division, because of the weight. Like Tom Aspinall is now the interim. You got Cyril Gane there as the number one contender. Alexander Volkov. I mean, I would assume they might want to do the Cyril Gane fight against
Yeah,
Tom, but
is
because Tom's beaten. He's beaten most of these guys that are in the top 10
he just
to make
needed
his way up to fight
yeah,
for the belt.
sure.
So I don't know, man. I think it's going to be Cyril Gane though. If I had to guess, I think that's going to be the next defense for Tom Aspinall.
And I only asked that because I'm throwing scenarios in my head. Do you think in a world Tom loses? I'm not saying he will.
Right.
Tom
Oh
loses.
man.
Do you think John comes back to fight that guy to get the belt back? Do you think there's a world? I'm like
No.
kind of like a Brett
No.
Favre, like I'm
Right.
gonna retire, then come
Yeah.
back, and then no, I'm good. Come back.
No. I
Like
don't
literally
think the
stuck
UFC
in
would
there.
allow it.
You
After
don't think Dana would let the baby boy Golden Child come back?
No, because I think if that happens, right, the only draw of bringing John Jones back in would be to sell pay-per-views, and I think if Aspinall loses and then John comes back to try to basically leapfrog
Yeah,
Aspinall to
yeah,
get him to get out of the title picture just to get back the title, that's
sure.
not gonna. People are gonna see right through that, and I don't think that's gonna go over very well. So I
I
don't
know.
think that's yeah.
I just thought that would be
That would be insane, Mo. Like,
that would be awesome. All right, my sports starter. We got a few here. There's a lot of stuff that kind of happened today, but earlier this week, thank God this guy is out of the division now. Jair Alexander signs with the Ravens. We haven't had a pod since. Signs a 1 year, $6 million steal of a deal with the Ravens and makes that secondary, in my opinion, one of the best in football. You got a lot of, on paper names. A lot of those players, talking about Alexander, is hurt all the time. But I just think the play is just kind of speaks for itself when Alexander is actually on the field. He is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. I know he doesn't play a lot. I think it's like 13 or 14 games in the last 2 years, but you just know it's a Wisconsin thing. Once these guys leave Wisconsin sports, they go on to the next team and become all pros, MVPs, best at their position. So I already see it that Alexander is going to possibly be the 2 or the 3 in Baltimore and just ball out over there because he doesn't have to face the 1. He'll be guarding like T. Higgins and who else? Cedric Tillman. I don't
yeah.
even know who the 2 or 3 is for the Steelers right now. So I think he's going to play very well over there. And that defense is just good in general. And I think the Ravens are going to be pretty good on that defense and offensive side. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm glad I don't have to see him on the TV twice a year. Unless I'm specifically watching a Ravens game, but versus my Vikings, I like it for the Ravens. I mean, like you said, that one year $6 million deal is a steal. He apparently turned down more money from other teams to
I
go to the
wish
Ravens.
we knew what those teams were because I would
I
love to know that info.
Yep.
But you know,
I'm sure we'll get a report out here sooner or later saying what teams offered what to Jair, but I don't know. I like you were saying, I think it just makes that Ravens secondary even better. It's not like he's going to be the best corner on that team. I mean, he could be, but it's not like he's going to be up against the ones like you were saying. So I think it's a great signing for the Ravens, and I think it's a good spot for Jair because, like you said, that secondary is loaded. He's not going to a place where he's going to be expected to be the one and have the spotlight on him. And then if he gets injured again, then it's a whole nother thing. So he can kind of go there and just do his thing.
yeah, I just love the popcorn that we're going to be eating as an outsider watching these Packer games because now we do play the AFC North this year. So now it's the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers and Jair on the Ravens for the Packers.
Yep.
So I did tell a lot of my Packer friends about that, and like weeks, I think it's damn near like week 16 or 17 for the Ravens against the Packers, and I was like, "Oh, guys, this is going to be sick to watch." And then all the responses were, "He probably won't be playing by then. He'll probably be on the sidelines in a tracksuit." I was like, "All right, I hope he picks off J Love at least 3 times. That'd be
I was
freaking
just
awesome.
gonna say, dude, having him get a pick on Jordan Love would be just cinema.
That would be awesome. Shout out Jair. I wish you were a Bear, but shit happens. Moving over to the NBA kind of sports starter I had. Big trade, blockbuster trade happened today. The Snake, Kevin Durant, is on his fifth team in his career. Gets traded to the Rockets from the Suns, and the Suns receive Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 overall pick this year's draft, and five second-round picks. And Jalen Green does not. They do not plan on to move from him. The Suns don't. What do you think
Right.
about Kevin Durant getting moved to the fifth team of his career? Because I wish Connor was here because he always says that he's the cancer of the locker room, and I just don't see it. But he's on a Rocket. What do you think the Rockets look like next year?
Uh, I think the Rockets are pretty damn good next year. And to be honest, I think this was a great deal for the Rockets. There's just before we get into that, we'll go into KD now being on his fifth team. He's going to Houston. They got the red jerseys. I've seen so many things. He's now completed the entire rainbow of team color
Yellow.
jerseys:
Yep. There we
red,
go. Hell
orange,
yeah.
yellow, green, indigo, violet, and purple.
Hell
So
yeah, dude. Beast.
or violet,
Indi-
not same
Indigo.
thing.
I was
Red
gonna
or-
let it
yeah,
fly.
yeah.
Indigo.
They had those the Brooklyn Nets, the dark blue, like navy blue almost.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha,
So
gotcha.
the whole rainbow there. Um, I don't know, man. What do you say about a guy that just
I think it's
hops
great.
teams, man?
Uh, You know, I don't want to say he just hops team because a lot of these are trades. The only one that obviously sticks out is him going to the Warriors, and that was his
Right.
decision. But after that, he's gotten traded everywhere, and I know he
Yeah, but
probably requests he
right,
requests to get out of there. But again, it's kind of 50-50 where it's like the Suns were not going to get any better. He's at the tail of his career for this situation at least. He knew the Suns weren't getting better. They have no money because they have to pay Beal $1,400 million a day, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm not really wanting to be here." And they're like, "You know what? That's fine. We should probably start, selling." So they got Jalen Green, a guy that's 23, 24 years old. Dylan Brooks, good defensively if they even keep him. And then that 10 overall pick. I'm not going to pretend like I know much about these draftees coming in,
yeah.
but top 10 pick is always good. And then the five second round picks makes me laugh because every time I see 5 second round picks, I think of Jay Crowder for the Bucks. So,
Yep,
but
that is
no,
exactly what I thought when I first saw it.
I saw this on Underdog Twitter. Rockets potential 2025 starting lineup. It's Fred if he comes back on the team option, which he probably will because it's a lot of money. Amen, Kevin Durant, Tari Eason, and Sengun. And then you got some guys coming off the bench like Steven Adams. So, I mean, I think that's fine. I was listening to like a podcast or a clip on TikTok earlier today, and it was KD's the closer, man. You obviously saw it last year when they were playing the Warriors. It was kind of like everyone was kind of passive. KD will ask for the ball and he will score the basketball.
Yep.
He's not gonna give you much on defense, but that's not what Kevin Durant is on your basketball team to do. He's there to
No.
close games and average about 27 to 28 points a game. So it just kind of cuts their future literally in half, from 5 years or 10 years to 5 years, if you get that from KD. But yeah, they just got to win a ring now for it to matter and count. So
Yeah, I think it was really good. Like I said, I think the Rockets kind of fleeced here when you think of like they were able to keep the Suns 2027 and 2029 pick. Like I think the 2029 is just a unprotected swap. So whatever, but they do have their 2027 unprotected first round pick. So not getting that back, not having to give up any of their other younger pieces, which they still have quite a few on that team. I mean, I think this was just a great trade for the Rockets and the Suns. I mean, they got a good young piece, a good role player in Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, and then those five second round picks. I don't know what that necessarily does. I'm sure that's going to be a part of some type of trade package in the future, but.
They can reload on their team now because they got. I mean, I'm
No
just looking at the
depth.
depth chart of the Rockets right now on ESPN, and it says that Reed Shepard is their starting shooting guard, so that's good for him to actually start playing because he didn't play
Right.
like damn near a single minute last year.
Nope.
And then Steven Adams, obviously, Jabari Smith
Yep.
Jr., Cam Whitmore, and then
Yeah.
Tate. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that first name, but no, that the Rockets just gotta probably sign some guys on minimums. Maybe get Brook Lopez in there. He's available, so
Yeah.
just go three bigs. That'd be so funny to see. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited for that Rockets team. The Suns can start loading up and maybe. I think they'll keep Booker. I think that's just like a given at this point. And then they try to get rid of Beal somehow. Some dumb team takes them, and they get off that. I don't know. That oh my God, Bradley Beal.
I don't see you might have to give up Bradley Beal and all 5 of those second round picks for a mid rotation player that
Yeah.
just to get that, just to have a team be like, okay, fine, I guess we'll take that contract on.
We sneak Bradley Beal in here.
Right.
This $65 million contract in here. What do you say?
Yeah, Suns
Yes
fans
or yes?
are kind of down bad right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, you got 3 guards, Jalen Green, who could be really good at times or really ass. You got Devin Booker, obviously going to give you buckets all day, and all game long, and then Bradley Beal. Those are your 3 guards and then Grayson Allen. I'm like, bro, that's disgusting. I hate that so much. But I'm not a Suns fan, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
And then just the last sports starter. We don't have to talk about this much. Travis Hunter officially signed 4 years, 46 million fully guaranteed contract, and he is $30 million signing bonus is entirely paid up front. That is insane. So shout out him. They did when they signed him. The Jags posted it twice. They said wide receiver has been signed and DB has been signed. So
Nice.
I kind of cringed at that when they said when I got those 2 alerts. But that's what he is. Hopefully he's good. But we need to stop the top 5 wide receiver duo talks now because I can't.
That's
I'm not
insane, man.
I'm not understanding it. I'm not
that.
understanding it. So, shout out Travis Hunter. His girlfriend or fiance is probably really happy about that. But shout out him. Now,
Yeah. Before we move on, I did want to say I saw something, and I want to kind of get your opinion on this. Coined on this podcast as Tyler Shitbag, has refused to sign his contract unless the Saints, Jesus, make his deal fully guaranteed. And if they do, they give him his 4-year rookie contract fully guaranteed, he will be 30 by the time that contract ends. What do you think about that? What is your reaction to hearing somebody who is probably going to be the worst quarterback in the NFL and be on the worst team in the NFL holding out because he wants his rookie contract to be fully guaranteed because he's competing for the starting job?
yeah, well, I could see it both ways. By that fourth year, he's not going to have a job anymore. So maybe he wants that money so he could, retire after that and not do a single thing after that, smoke cigs with his buddies. But a lot of second rounders as well. I know Luther. I don't think he's been signed yet. I think if you look it up, there's a lot of second rounders that haven't been signed yet. I don't think any of our second rounders honestly have been signed yet. Obviously, it's June, but it's a lot of the fully guaranteed baloney. But going back to the shitbag, I think it's just he wants his money because he knows he's not going to be competing for a job when he's 30. But and that's the thing with drafting a 24, 25-year-old quarterback. They're the most developed. I put air quotes. With Bo Nix last year, but that's what you get when the 4 years is done. He's going to be 30 already. So I mean,
Right.
I don't know. And it's the Saints, like you said. So I don't really know what they're going to do. I don't really care. It's just funny that all these guys are sitting out and Shamar Stewart hasn't even signed. So I just think it's awesome. But
Yeah.
shout out Shitbag. I gotta get Connor a jersey for his birthday, dude.
Seriously.
I think I might do it. So shout out Connor for this week. I think, yeah, it'll be his birthday on Wednesday. So make sure you guys wish
Attaboy.
him happy birthday. So
Yeah.
let's do your 32 to 15 here, quick, for the QB rankings. So you weren't here last week. Wow. And I want to hear your 32 to 15 or 16 here, quick.
Alrighty.
I'll stop you if I don't like something.
Okay. So we'll run through. Speak of the devil, 32 right here. Tyler Shitbag at
Yep,
32.
consensus. Yep.
At 31, I have Anthony Richardson.
You can break it down if you want a little bit. You don't gotta yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I had him 30. I like that.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson is fucking garbage. Joe Flacco, I have at 30 because he took. He
just there has to be a Cleveland Brown on there.
Yes. At 29, I actually have Russell Wilson. I saw you guys had him a bit higher, but I think his prime is behind him, and I don't expect good things from this Giants offense with Russell Wilson in there.
Zing, 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 zing. Get him in there, dude. Yep. Jackson Dart is coming.
I'm telling you, I want to say like week 6.
9.
Week 6 or 7.
9. I got 9.
When is their bye?
I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I remember talking to some workers, my coworkers, and I think it was 9. But
okay, then that makes more sense. They would put him in just before the bye. They'd wait till after the bye. So if they have an early bye, definitely after the bye they will throw.
No, they
Jackson
have a late.
Dart.
They have a late bye. But I did week 9 because they're going to be like 1-8 before that, and then they go to home against the 49ers. Jackson Dart comes in, they beat the 49ers, and then it's in Chicago, and I might go to that game if Jackson Dart is playing in Chicago.
Okay, so you had personal motivations. Got it. Okay,
but their bye is week 14, so maybe he might come in that late, but they could also throw Jameis out there because they actually don't want their first round pick to die. Because
that's true.
That video of their D line,
oh my
absolutely, bending over their O line was terrifying. So.
Yeah. R.I.P. whoever plays quarterback back there.
Shotguns, quick slants.
So that was 29. At 28, I have Justin Fields. I think he showed flashes again in Pittsburgh, but also Mason Rudolph took him to above 500 team. That Steelers team just finds a way to win games. So I don't put too much stock into that. So I got Justin Fields there at 28. I am excited to see him on the Jets though. See if he can prove me wrong. Move up these rankings.
He went to not the greatest organization. I'm not going to call him shit when he got drafted, but then he went to a really good organization, looked really good, and now he's back in a pretty awful organization. So
yeah,
it's basically the same thing. The Jets and the Bears when Justin was there in Chicago, had one target, and I think Garrett Wilson might have 20,000 yards this year. So
yeah, Garrett Wilson's stock, fantasy stock is through the roof.
Exactly.
At 27, little shocking coming from me, but I have Sam Darnold here at 27.
Not shocking.
Really?
Not
okay.
shocking.
Okay. I thought I'd get like a from you. No,
it's Sam Darnold. It's Sam Darnold.
Right.
We did call him a KOC merchant last week. So it's
perfect.
Me and Mason had him at 24-23. Connor has not set him yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Make you guys check in next week to see where Connor has Sam Darnold. But yeah, me and Mason had 24 and 23. And my reasoning was just he was a KOC merchant and doesn't have Justin Jefferson to throw to anymore. So
yep,
that was basically the reason.
100%. You look what happens when the game isn't going perfect, or let's not say perfect, but there's not a spot where he has to be perfect.
Yeah.
He just can't perform. So we saw it last year with the Vikings in those two games versus the Lions, and then the 2 games versus the Rams. Just kind of shit the bed. Showed flashes in both of them. It showed flashes all year, to be honest. But I truly believe that was just because of the team and the system that was around
Vikings
him.
Team is very good.
So I got Sam Darnold there at 27.
Mm-hmm.
And now we start to get into some youth here. 26. 26, I have Cam Ward.
Okay.
Hasn't shown anything. I have him on the lowest of the young guys coming in.
Mhm.
25, I have Michael Penix Jr. Second lowest. Again, I have 1 year of tape on these guys. I'm kind of I like what your philosophy was last year. I don't know how gung ho you are on that. Given this
Got to see one
past
more year, dude.
year's rookie year, but I do need to see one more year out of these guys. So 25, I had Penix. 24, I have Caleb Williams here at 24.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Above
I'm
Caleb,
okay.
I have Drake May.
Okay.
Above Caleb at
I think I'm still
23.
listening for a name that hasn't been said yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
In 100%, I'll say it. 22
Bias.
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 JJ
Wow.
McCarthy.
Wow.
Don't care.
That is
I
unbelievable.
also kind of made my list as like going into next year, and I do
Okay.
think
Yeah.
between JJ McCarthy, Drake May, and Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy is set up the most to succeed. So
Correct. Like
I
literally
have
the breath before you were just like I only saw 1 year. We haven't
yeah.
seen JG McCarthy at all. So
I saw him in a preseason game.
those
I saw
third
him in a
string
preseason game.
those third string preseason cornerbacks are not the same.
Sold me.
I
Sold
get
me.
that.
Hey,
All
like I
right.
said, I am 100% willing to sit here and look at you and
No,
tell you that is bias, and
it
I
is.
don't care.
I'm trying to remember to post this on YouTube so we can see what hat and shirt you're wearing. The Viking putting 22 JJ McCarthy. All right.
Yep.
All right.
21, I
Hey,
have
can I ask of why Drake May is ahead of Caleb Williams?
because I also think that I think Drake May is a big thing for me between Drake May and Caleb. What it comes down to is composure. I really think this year Caleb Williams has the opportunity to kind of nix those arguments that get used against him where he's uncomposed, he freaks out, and he tries to do too much. I think a big portion of that had to do with the coaching that was around him last year. So I think he has a huge opportunity this year with Ben Johnson to kind of take a step back and kind of push those narratives off to the side. So I can totally see a world where Caleb plays way better than Drake May next year. But I think for now, for me, I think Drake May is just the more complete quarterback who's in a much worse situation in New England. So that's why I have May above Caleb, just one spot, and
No,
with
that's cool.
a huge opportunity to move up.
I really do think if Caleb had like I'm just say like 52 sacks, I think this conversation would be so much different. I think the composure thing that's like literally the only thing that people say is when you bring
Yeah,
up Caleb is the composure. If you watch any of the games, he would say hike and he would be on his ass. I'm
yeah,
not even kidding.
yeah,
So I think the composure thing is obviously the reason why they loaded up on their line. So I'm excited to see what the line looks like and how much better it is because 68 sacks, obviously it makes sense, composure, and he's making these superhero plays is because he had to. So
yeah.
I'm excited. So keep
Yeah,
going. Keep,
100%. 21, I got Bo Nix here at 21. The top, well, second to top of those rookie slash first year slash rookie quarterbacks. Now we get into 20, the top 20, and at 20, I have Bryce Young
okay.
here at number 20.
I like that.
We all know how big of a Bryce Young guy I am here, so not going to go too in depth here.
Mhm.
19, I have Brock Purdy here at
Okay.
19.
Okay. Okay.
I'm be honest, I feel like he is a better version of Sam Darnold. He's shown that he can play very well even if the game isn't completely perfect, but I think this year is going to be a huge test in that narrative that's always surrounded Brock Purdy, and his team has always been great around him. So now we'll see if with not as good of a team around him, if Brock Purdy can kind
Yeah.
of step up and play to the level that I think people talk about him at, which I don't know if he deserves it.
Well, they talk about it, but they're gonna keep talking about it because he got paid already. That's the worst thing about this situation. I think it's kind of like the Bucks situation where like we were gonna get rid of Dame, do this and this, and then Dame gets hurt. So now we can't do anything.
Yep.
Ayuk gets hurt. The freaking Purdy, I think he was still like top 12 in passing yards and stuff,
Yeah.
but they were 6-11. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how good he is, and if he shits his pants, it's gonna be awesome because they already paid him, and there's not much they can really do. I don't know the logistics of the contract, but he
Right.
got his money, and it's just weird and awesome how that kind of worked out.
Yeah. At 18 here, I have Tua turned the ball over.
All right, I like that.
So that's who I have at 18. 17, I have Geno Smith
Good.
at 17. And at 16, I have Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Alrighty. No real complaints except Drake May over Caleb. That would probably be the only one, and then I'm gonna just not even acknowledge you putting JJ that high because you are a Vikings fan. So I'm not gonna read too deep into that. I do think that team is gonna be very good. I'll tell you right now, the Vikings team will be very good. JJ just needs to, I'm gonna say it, be a game manager. There's not much he has to do. He doesn't have to play hero ball. So
Nope.
it's just like if he fucks it up, that's just all him. I don't.
Yeah.
There's no excuses for him. But
No.
least pressure. So
Very, very little. Did I have him as least pressure?
no, you had Jared Goff, and you
Okay,
called me
yeah.
an idiot for having him at once. So I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, 15-1. We'll go back and forth here. Let's start with your 15.
15, I have Dak Prescott.
Alrighty. My 15, we'll kind of keep going like a little explanation if you want for the next ones. I got Bo Nix. I think he played out of his mind, and I'm really excited for that team just in general. So all these rookie quarterbacks that went to the playoffs, I'm excited for their second year. Hopefully none of these guys slump because I really love this class, and I think they're going to be arguably up there with the 2020 class with like Burrow and all those guys because
Yeah.
it's just loaded with talent, so I'm excited. But I got Bo Nix with the Broncos at 15. 14.
14 is where I have Trevor Lawrence, the
Okay.
Prince. I'm high on the Jags this year,
Yes, you are.
but I need Trevor Lawrence to play up to the potential I guess he's shown. And don't get me wrong, he had a bad year last year, and his other years were actually pretty damn good with a really horrible Jags team.
Yep.
But now they're starting to put it together, and I want to see a good year out of T-Law there.
Yeah. I mean,
Plus-
it's just. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just
No,
going
no.
to say, plus the addition of Liam Cohen now, I think is going to completely change the way that
Yeah.
offense works, and I'm excited to see the Jags this year.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's excited with T-Law and BTJ, but in reality, none of that was with his success with what was with T-Law. So it was all Mac Jones at the end of the year when they were just telling Mac Jones to throw it 150 times.
Yep.
Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback, but I'm excited to see if he poops his pants or he shows that he's the number one pick a few years back. So my 14 is Brock Purdy. I got Brock Purdy here, just giving him his flowers of how he's been. I have a lot of trust in Kyle Shanahan. That's more of the reasoning. Brock Purdy is it's gonna be the same system. Throw it to Juwan Jennings immediately. Throw it to to Kittle immediately, and throw it to Ricky Pearsall whenever he goes 50 yards down the field. So, and then CMC is going to be back. Hopefully, knock on wood, he's perfect and plays all 17 games. That's another reason I think that Brock Purdy could play a lot better because not having CMC obviously shown last year that he wasn't very good. So, 13.
13, I have your boy, Kyler Murray, K1
go.
here at
Let's go.
13. Where did you have your boy again?
Yeah, I can't remember. I deleted it. I don't
Okay,
remember.
all right.
I had him at 19. I had him at 19.
I got Kyler Murray at 13.
Yeah, okay, dude. I guess I'm the lowest on him, but I'm the Kyler guy, so it was just kind of funny. But Kyler's the man. I won't lie. It was just he's just I just like watching him play, dude. He's like Jamal Murray to me. He's really good, but he's like not one of the best point guards in the league. He's just one of my favorite players.
Yeah,
So.
fair, valid.
13, I got C.J. Stroud. I think C.J. Stroud has a bounce back year. If his all of his wide receivers can for one season stay healthy, and Nico plays all the 17 games, I think that duo can be pretty deadly. They got two rookies that came in that are really good, and obviously Christian Kirk. So I think that wide receiver core is pretty good. Joe Mixon and now Nick Chubb. I'm expecting a very big bounce back here from C.J. Stroud at 13.
Yeah,
Number
100%.
12.
Couldn't agree more because I have C.J. Stroud here at number 12.
Nice. Not one of these, giving him his flowers. Number 12 for me, I have Dak Prescott at 12. He is a regular season merchant. He throws a bajillion yards, and he's just one of those guys that gets hurt all the time. So if he could stay healthy, now with arguably his best weapons he's ever had in his career with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, and then Ferg, I think this team could be, either really good or really, really, really bad. I don't think there's a middle for the Cowboys here, but I have Dak at 12. Number 11.
I like it. Number 11 here is where I have Jared Goff. Number 11. So I think I just out of the top 10. I don't feel like that's crazy. I just think that the 10 guys ahead of him I would rather have going into next year.
Interesting. All right. I think number 11 is another NFC North quarterback. I have Jordan Love just out of the top 10. You can keep telling me it was the injury, and I keep saying it as well in these late podcasts, but he is one of the guys that needs a bounce back. He played out of his mind. Honestly, one of the better seasons I've seen out of recent years. His rookie year, if you want to count it that, but or call it that. But last year it was not very good at all. You can tell me about week 1 about his groin or whatever it was, MCL. But, he's fully healthy, and they got him a wide receiver 1 in the draft. And, I don't think Golden's going to be that good. But you never know. Jordan Love, you're number 11 for me.
I like
number
it.
10.
I have Jordan Love here at number 10.
Nice.
Just cracking the top 10 over Jared Goff.
Money. Alrighty, number 10 for the Bear. I got Baker Mayfield, the gunslinger. I think he is better than Jordan Love. And I'm excited for this offense as well. I don't know what the status of Godwin is, but it doesn't matter because it sounds like Ibuka or whatever that guy's name is from Ohio State is going nuts in these camps. So I'm excited for this offense, and then they should probably trade Rachaad White because he stinks. So number 9.
Couldn't agree more. I also have Baker Mayfield here at number 9. I agree, better than Jordan Love, and I am super pumped to see this Bucs offense next year.
Alrighty. Number 9, I got Jared Goff, the best quarterback in the NFC North. I don't gotta say much more about that. So I think he is number 9 for me. Number 8.
Fair enough. Number 8, controversial for me. I have the defending Super Bowl champion Jalen Hurts at number 8.
Okay. I like that.
I don't hate Jalen Hurts. I don't hate his game.
Sounds like
I
it.
hate the
Sounds
tush
like
push.
you hate him. Sounds like you hate him.
Listen, I
He hates him.
I genuinely would rather take the next 7 guys ahead of Jalen Hurts if I'm starting a team. If I going into next year, I think I would rather have these next 7 guys. And I don't like I said, I don't hate Jalen Hurts' game, and I think he plays the quarterback position well, and I think he can play it at a high level. I just don't think he plays it at a high level consistently enough, which now that I say it is a little ironic given my next player here that I'm going to mention. So I'm just going to shut up and let you say your number 8.
Have you said that Cheesehead quarterback yet?
Yeah, I had him at 10.
Oh, at 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So you had Goff and then.
Yep, it was
Goff
just
at
11.
11.
Yeah, 11
Okay.
and then
Perfect.
Love
All
at
right.
10.
Got it. All right, number 8 for me. I have another regular season merchant. I have Justin Herbert at number 8. I think Justin Herbert is a fantastic quarterback. I'd love to have him. He's a very good quarterback. But then when the lights get too bright, you look at his stats, they're not the greatest. I'm expecting a really good year with Ladd and now Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. Shout out Ole Miss. And then, Amari and Hampton. So I'm excited for this team. I got Justin Herbert at 8 just because of his playoff success. That isn't success.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, ironically enough, at 7 here, I have Justin Herbert ahead of Jalen Hurts, which, now that I think about it, you could put Hurts 7, you could put Herbert 8. 5
to 10 is hard, man. 5 to 10 is hard for me.
It really is. But I got Herbert at 7. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this guy played out of his mind for my 7 rookie year. One of the best rookie years we've seen in a long time. Jaden Daniels is 7. Went to the NFC Championship. You'll understand why I have number 6 because it's a team he lost to. But my number 7 is Jaden Daniels. Rookie year, just got to see it again. I can't put him in these top 5 convos until he does it again. So number 7 for me is Jaden. Who's your number 6?
Yeah, no, you hit the nail right on the head. Can't put him in the top 5 combos till you see it again. And I got Jaden Daniels at I got JD5 at number 6.
5. Yeah, I like that. My number 6, the guy he lost to in the NFC Championship, Jalen Hurts. I think just the team is too good for Jalen Hurts not to succeed and be that good. I get the stats weren't there, but the brother won the Super Bowl, so he doesn't really have to do anything. And he doesn't turn the ball over very much. So he just literally has to touch push, hand the ball off to Saquon, and throw it to all of his targets all over the field. So I think the team is going to be good, and he's going to be good. So I got Jalen Hurts at 6. Going into the top 5. Let's go, baby. Number 5. Who's number 5?
Number 5, I have an old rival of ours. I got Matthew Stafford rounding out the top 5 there at number 5.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna shout him out, Jake Duller. He's been cooking me for having this guy in the top 5. Matthew Stafford as well for me.
Really?
Matthew Stafford is my number 5. I have a team every year, and it's the Rams for me. I think the Rams are gonna be absolutely insane, and I think Matthew Stafford has arguably the best or most talented arms in the league still. He's a gunslinger, and he has Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua to throw to. And they just drafted a tight end that's nasty, and then they have Kyron Williams and Sean McVay. So Matthew Stafford is easily 5 for me. So shout out Jake. He's told me that he's not even top 5 or top 10. So we'll see how Stafford plays this year. So we'll.
Oh my God, that hurt my soul.
Yeah, when he comes, I think he's coming in July. So Jake, if you're listening, you're definitely going to have to come on the pod and describe to the listeners why you think Matthew Stafford is not top 10.
That's crazy. Wow.
Put guys like Baker Mayfield and Jordan Love over him, and I almost vomited on the floor. So I get it.
Jordan Love?
Yep. Packer fan. So you got a little grain of bias there, but
And I love Baker, but come on, man.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Valid.
Number 4. Who's your 4?
Number 4, I think I think the 1 through 4, and everybody I think has the same names here. 1 through 4.
Depends where you got them.
But exactly, the order's a little different here. And here I have Joe Burrow. Yes. I got Joe Burrow here at number 4.
100% agree here. Joe Burrow is number 4. Got to make the playoffs this year, man, or you're gonna drop. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I understand that the defense is horrible.
It's not his fault. I'm not
totally
I'm not saying it's his fault. He's gonna throw for 5K and miss the playoffs, but it's gonna be so funny the narratives around him if he misses it again.
Yeah.
But he's gonna throw like 5K and 45 touchdowns, and it's gonna be so funny. This is what you get for signing your best friend wide receivers. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
3, I have Lamar Jackson here at number 3.
I think we have the same top 3 or top 4 all in the same. So I got Lamar Jackson
5.
as well. Yes.
Top 5.
So, yes, 100%. So Lamar Jackson, you just didn't win MVP this year, so you can't be top 2. So he should have. I'm not gonna lie, but Pookie Bear won it, so I'm rolling with him. So Lamar Jackson, I think I know Mason probably has that flipped because he's more of a Lamar guy, but none of these guys are a bad option. So I think Lamar Jackson at 3 is perfect.
Yeah, and number 2, I got the reigning MVP, Josh Allen.
Pookie Bear, number 2 for me as well. So.
Yeah.
And then the number 1, if you don't have him number 1, you're just trying to be different. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a lot of these lists. And shout out Honolulu Cheese, shout out Ryan. Love to have you on, or we go on your podcast soon, and we can talk about Mahomes not being number 1. So I got number 1 Mahomes. He's just dominated the NFL the last 6 years. So I mean, I don't care if his stats aren't there. Jalen Hurts' stats weren't there, and he's still up there in all these rankings. And he was second place in the whole NFL last year. He went to the Super Bowl for the 6th time in 7 years. So
right.
I got Mahomes. So run me down your top. Let's just do your top 10 here quick. Run me down one to 10.
10, I have
Oh, 10 to 1.
Jordan.
That's fine. Yep. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, 10 to 1. 10 to 1.
Okay. So 10, I have Jordan Love. 9, Baker Mayfield. 8, Jalen Hurts. 7, Justin Herbert. 6, JD. 5, 5, Matthew Stafford. 4, Joe Burrow. 3, Lamar. 2, Josh Allen. 1, Mahomes.
Nice. And then my the Bears 10 to 1. I got number 10. I got Baker Mayfield. Number 9, Jared Goff. 8, Justin Herbert. 7, Jaden Daniels. 6, Hurts. 5, Matthew Stafford. 4, Burrow. 3, Lamar. 2, Allen. And number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. We'll have hopefully we'll have Mason on and Connor on next week, so we get there 15 to 1 as well. But we might do some more positions after this. Just because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, from now till football season, it's gonna get dry here, guys. So we're gonna have to make shit up as we go. I'm pretty excited for it though.
Lots of games, lots of fantasy talk. We're gonna
my
just
God,
making stuff up for the
I
next.
can't wait for fantasy talk, man.
Yeah.
I was told we can't talk till July, so we're just gonna have to wait till July, guys. I know
Yeah.
we're close, but I just told we can't talk about it yet. But in the meantime, like we were just talking about, I got a game for you.
Sick.
I got to keep 4, cut 4 RBs. So
Ooh.
keep 4, cut 4 RBs.
Okay. All right.
Going into the next season, however you want to do it on your team, I don't really care. But keep 4, cut 4. First name up, Tony Pollard.
Is this going to be all current
All
running
current. I'm
backs
sorry,
right
yes.
now? Okay.
All current NFL running backs. First name up, Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard's going to be a cut for me.
Alrighty.
I think that's a safe cut there.
Next name up, James Cook.
I'm going to keep James Cook. James Cook is a dog.
You think he gets a contract?
Yeah, see that's the other side of the coin when it comes to running backs. He is an absolute beast.
He is.
But
He is.
I don't know if he's gonna get paid by the Bills. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's awesome.
I don't think so. I don't think he will.
Alrighty. Your boy that I learned that you like a lot more than the common folk, Najee Harris.
I do like Najee Harris more than the common folk. Listen, all right, you need him to get you 3, he'll get you 3. You need him to get you 10, he'll get you 3.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I didn't know we were going there, but I was like, maybe 4.5.
So I mean, listen, the 1,000-yard seasons, man. I do. Plus, I got to stick to my guns, and I got to keep Najee Harris here.
Okay. We got two keeps already. 2 left. Next name up, Bucky Irving.
Oh, that's a keep. Instant keep.
Okay.
Yeah.
One keep left.
I think I fucked up. Not gonna lie. I think I should have cut Najee.
Bias coming in there. It's kind of like, that's how I feel of Kyler Murray. He's not good, but he's not, or he's good. He's not good, but I love him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I fucked up here. Bro.
Next name up, Ken Walker.
Oh my god, I fucked up so bad. Oh my god.
Got 1 keep left.
Oh, I can't cut K9, dude. Oh my god.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but it wouldn't be the worst decision to cut him.
Oh my god. How many people do we have left?
Including K9, you got 4.
Oh, okay.
You have to cut 3. You got to cut 3 of these guys.
Oh my god. I've kept 3 of the last 4 guys named. I gotta cut Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, hey, I'll tell you now, it was a good choice. It was a good choice.
I screwed this up so
All right,
bad.
next name up, Chuba Hubbard.
Cut.
Okay, money. All right.
Yeah.
So you can only keep 1 of these guys. 2 names left. First name up, Kyron Williams.
Oh.
With 1 name remaining. So
Yeah.
you can only keep 1 more. Kyron or this guy?
I have Bucky, Najee.
So far.
Ooh.
Yeah. You got you. I'll run it down after this.
Okay.
You keeping or cutting?
God, I'm gonna roll the dice and I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna cut Kyron Williams here.
Cut. All right, I love that. All right, for our fun first ever keep 4, cut 4, you cut Tony Pollard, Ken Walker, Chuba Hubbard, and Kyron Williams. You kept kept, kept James Cook, Najee Harris, the GOAT, Bucky Irving, and Bijan Robinson. So you
Fire.
scraped up pretty well
Yep.
at the end.
Fire last one. Dude, if I had to just went with my gut and cut Najee, I could have kept Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
God,
Or
that's the
Kyron,
only.
or
Yeah.
Kyron too. That's
I
so
would
funny.
take Walker over Kyron, but
Really?
yeah, yeah.
Really? Oh,
I think
okay.
Kenneth Walker is one of the best running backs in the NFL, man.
Okay.
He
All
that
right.
that Seahawks offensive line is fucking
It
atrocious,
is.
and
It is. It is.
they are doing Kyron Williams and that whole offense a disservice because, or not Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker,
Yep.
because Kenneth Walker is one of the crazy. I love watching Kenneth Walker run the football.
Yeah. I was an idiot last year and drafted two Seahawk people, like players, on my fantasy league, so I had to watch DK and K1 a lot last year. And I'm like, he was making everything happen. He would bounce
K9.
off. K9, I'm sorry. It's K1, K9, so many freaking numbers. He was making a lot of the stuff happen. He would get hit at the line and give you four. I mean, it
Yeah.
was insane. But yeah,
He's so
Kyron
good, dude.
Kyron is just, I take him just because he, the team's just a little bit better. So I think I take him personally.
Understandable.
But shout out NFL football season coming. If you want to get Alex, a gift, he's a big Najee Harris guy, so he would really appreciate a signed card or any memorabilia from Najee Harris. I guess Najee Harris is the man.
I like Najee.
Yeah,
I definitely screwed
it's
that up, though.
again, one of these things. It's like, man, if we didn't start this podcast, I would have never known that you were so high on Najee Harris, the
Yeah.
1,000 at the point of 1,000 every year. So
Yeah,
that's
Mr.
what it
Consistent.
is. That's what it is. But NFL season's coming. The NBA season is over.
Yep.
We can talk about the Thunder beating the Pacers in the Game 7, 103-91. They sold their soul too much to Pacers, I think, to get to this point. And sadly, first quarter or second quarter in, dealing with the calf strain for the last few games. Tyrese Halliburton, I don't know if it's confirmed, but the reports are it was a low leg injury. I don't want to say exactly what it was because I'm not exactly sure if that's 100% yet. But he was screaming in pain, and anything with a calf, I'm not a doctor, but you can understand what I'm getting at and what happened. But let's talk about some more happy stuff. The OKC Thunder win their first championship in Oklahoma, which is cool.
Fire.
SGA gets the Finals MVP. I shit my pants for a quick second because I was looking at the TV and saw J-Dub hosting it. I'm like, no way,
Yeah.
no way. They just scummed SGA, but they did not. They did not.
Yeah, you got me with that, man. I was like, there's no way.
And the funny thing was, sitting on my phone, it was a sleeper notification that SGA won Finals MVP. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, you're an idiot, Brendan. But Game 7, SGA finished with 29, 5-5. J-Dub had 24-4, and Chet actually had finally a good game in this Finals, 18-8 and no assists, but he's a big man, so you're not really looking for him to do that.
Yeah.
Caruso was great off the bench immediately, always defense. Lou Dort made some threes. He shot 9 of those things. Wow. Okay. And Hardenstein, one of the, if you need a pick, he's setting a pick for you. So Hardenstein's the man. I love that guy. But yeah, OKC, best team all year. Get it done. They don't need to blow anything up. I think they just kind of started like a dynasty, in my opinion. I think they're still one of the best, if not the best. Obviously, you could say they're the best because they just won it. Team in the West in the NBA. But I'm excited to see what the East looks like. What's your opinion on OKC and the Pacers or the finals?
Honestly, the best team all year from start to finish. It got a little dicey there. Prayers up for Tyrese Halliburton. No, you never want to see that, especially in a Game 7. Everything on the line. These guys are playing their hearts out. Even after Hallie went out, it still was close. T.J. McConnell was playing like an absolute dog. He had
You got to give him his flowers. I know you hate him.
yes.
He is
I
so
know.
nice.
I know
It's
he's
insane.
I only hate him because it makes no sense why
It
he's
really
so
does
good.
not.
It
It
doesn't
really
make
does not.
any sense. And I just hate it because when I'm watching him just carve up the Bucks in the low post,
Bro, he
it
was
doesn't
carving
make
up
any sense.
Chet.
Yeah,
He was carving up arguably the best rim protector in the NBA.
yeah.
It was just unbelievable, dude. Every time I just see him score and be like, "Yep, Connor and Alex are hating that right now."
Yeah. There was a section where there was a little section of the game where he scored 8 consecutive points, just trying to will the Pacers into a win. You know, unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Like you were saying, I think OKC. I think I saw something they have. It was either 3 or 5. I feel like 5 is excessive, but it you know, with the Thunder, it could be a possibility. First round picks this year alone.
I can look that up real quick.
Yeah. But like you were saying, dynasty, man. The team is so young. You're not paying these guys a crap ton of money. Your core is still all together, so you can go out and win 2-3 more championships, man. What's stopping them from going back and winning next year?
Kevin Durant on the Rockets. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like, you know, don't get me wrong. They've had close series.
Close series eyes.
Yeah, a few
series.
close series.
It's
I
late.
don't know,
All right,
whatever.
just keep going.
But you know, at the end of the day, they were able to get it done, and that's the most important thing when it comes to NBA is just getting the win, and they did that all year round. So
Yep.
shout out to the Thunder, man. You're 2025 NBA champions. I know people in Seattle are sick right now. So
Yeah, because that kind of like shuts that door for a little bit longer, I think. Because I think they go Las Vegas first for expansion, and then maybe they go Seattle. They got to do 2 teams, obviously, but we'll see. OKC are the champions. It's really just, you know, what it comes down to. You just got to stay healthy and get lucky. And they were the team that, you know, didn't deal with any injuries. And obviously, Hallie got hurt the last game of the year, and that fucking sucks. But talking about the East and the Pacers, the East might literally look totally different. You got, I think it's top 5. The top 5 teams of this year, 3 of them, they're arguably their best player, all snapped their Achilles. So I don't really know what those teams are going to look like. Pacers looked not lost, but, you know, a step behind without Hallie on the court. Obviously, you know, they got the Celtics with Tatum. You don't know what the Celtics are going to look like. They're battling the second apron too, so they could get rid of. I've shout out Dells on, you know, pick a side. He really does think they're going to get rid of KP and Drew next year, so they could look like ass. And then the Bucks, we have Dame with his Achilles gone right now.
No Brooke.
Shout out Pat for coming back. Thanks, brother. But
Right.
I really just don't know. You got the Cavs and the Pistons and the Knicks. Those 3 teams are the healthy teams going into the offseason. So I don't really know what.
Yeah, but what's going to happen with the Knicks? They fired their head coach. Does that mean more personnel changes are coming? Like, they're even still a question mark. So
Yeah.
this whole Eastern Conference is. I can tell you one thing for sure though. Wizards aren't doing shit. So the Washington fans,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Do
fair.
not get your hopes up. It's not that crazy in the East right now. All right.
But that's the thing. Like, you kind of already saw it with Orlando taking a big swing. They kind of looked at
Oh, my
the East
goodness.
now being possibly not wide open, but good. You know, if the
Yeah.
Cavs, you know, they got to sign back some guys too. They'll have the 4, but you need more than 4 players on a basketball team.
Yeah,
The
but
Pistons again, they'll have to reload with, I think Beasley and Tobias were both 1-year guys. They'll probably come back because of how much success they had, and then they'll get Ivy back. But you just never know. So I'm excited. This summer's going to be super long because it's going to be terrifying to see who goes where and what happens with Giannis. I think he stays now because really the only team that kind of can even afford to trade for him right now is the Spurs. And I just don't think they have enough, or they are not going to give us Wemby. So I don't think they're.
Right.
I don't think they're trading, but they should. How stacked that West is, but I don't really want Sohan and Harrison Barnes and Stephon Castle. So I'm good on that.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely not. I just one big thing too is that was a good point that you brought up. Is a lot of people were talking about the Desmond Bain trade and it being a huge overpay and this and that, but like you were saying, I mean, if there's any time for one of those mediocre Eastern teams to take a big swing, if they have the ability to, which obviously the Magic did, now's the time to do it because, like we've been saying, this year is going to be, or this next year is going to be. Who knows what the East is going to look like, man?
Yeah,
It could be crazy.
if my team was healthy and had a star going into this offseason, I'd be looking at the East licking my chops because it's
Seriously.
you could get one guy or just go into the season healthy and just be better. We have no idea what the Pacers are going to look like, no idea what the Celtics are going to look like, and no idea what what we're going to look like with the Bucks. So it'll be interesting.
Right.
Sadly, that'll probably be the last of some NBA talk until some other blockbuster trades happen or some other stuff happens. But shout out the NBA season. It was up and down. We won the NBA Cup, so we have something to be excited about.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah. So NFL season is a few months away. We'll probably talk some baseball, but
I was going to say I've been kind of keeping up on the Brewers lately. I've been able to use the ESPN Sportscast to watch those games. And man, if you can't watch the game, I'm telling you, ESPN
awesome.
Sportscast for baseball is where it's at because it's electric to just sit there and see where these pitches are going. Yeah, just make sure you have your notifications turned off because it's really annoying to get these notifications on top and then nothing happening in your little simcast. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
dude, shout out Kyle. He's the man. Love him with all my heart. But he has an antenna, and I am a direct TV stream on my situation over here. So I was like 3 plays behind in this basketball game when he was watching on his antenna. He would text in the chat about what was happening, and I'd be like, I got a commercial on my screen right now. I don't really know what's going on.
I hate you.
But dude, this NFL season, I'm gonna have to like mute like 6 chats just because like how far like behind I am. But I get it for free, so I'm not gonna complain about it.
Yeah.
Prime example: the Commanders game. I was, he hadn't even hiked it before my phone was blowing up. So I was like, okay, well, either we won or something really, really bad happened, and
I
we know
what's
what happened.
happening.
So that was terrifying. So shout out people with antennas. You got it pretty nice.
For real.
So just to finish out the pod, the 2-man group, the Bear and the Viking, we got some fan questions. So we just put on our socials to send us some questions. We're not going to get to all of them today because we want everyone to be here. So we got 3 today, and we're going to finish with these. And again, like I said, thank you guys for sending them in. We got one from Michael. 3 Guys, 6 Balls Pod, and Boom Broadcasting. So, starting out with Michael. Shout out, Michael. You're the man. What made you fall in love with sports? Is the first question here. Go ahead.
If you have an answer prepared, go ahead.
Yeah. It's pretty easy.
I do, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It was I always liked sports, but what made me fall in love with sports was watching LeBron James in 2016 come back in the 3-1 against the Warriors. Just watching that whole series. I'm a basketball guy, so watching, arguably the best series in the last decade plus was unbelievable. 7-3-9, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson when he's good, Draymond, Kevin Love, and then that's Game 7, one of the best Game 7s ever. The block, the shot. Made me fall in love with LeBron James and sports in general, and the rest is history. And now we started a podcast a few years later. So that would be my answer. LeBron James. Shout out Pookie Bear King.
Fair enough. That's a great answer. The last time we've seen a Game 7 in the NBA was 2016. So that is a great answer. My answer is going to have to be watching the Minnesota Vikings and watching Adrian Peterson tear his ACL, MCL, PCL, all of it, just destroy his knee, and then feel really hopeless, wonder like what is he going to look like when he comes back, and he shuts you the hell up and wins MVP as a running back coming off of a torn everything in his knee. Just like such a triumphant story, man. It was like against all odds, winning MVP as a running back alone is crazy odds. especially after a huge injury like that.
Yeah.
I think that for me really just sealed the deal. In if I could go a little bit farther back, because I think by then I was pretty heavily in love, especially with the game of football. But if I can go even a little bit farther back, it was the whole 2009 season, watching Brett Favre destroy the Packers on the Vikings, watching us go to the NFC Championship, and then obviously the heartbreak. But I
Yeah.
think looking back on it, that's where I realized I loved the game of football, was because of that heartbreak that I felt. It
Yeah.
was it was real,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
emotion was there.
If you don't, if you're like even fantasy football, if that's not making you want to cry, you're not a real sports fan. I'm not gonna lie. Or watching your players get hurt, or winning the
Oh
Super
man.
Bowl, or even the NBA Cup, dude, buying merch, you're not a real fan. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Shout out sports. And then the second to last one here. Shout out to Three Guys Six Ball Pod. They are so awesome. I love those
Shout
guys.
out.
Which team outside of the NFC North do you think is the biggest threat to your team? I'm going to go first, and I think it's the Rams. I think the Rams are. I'm not going to say the Eagles because that's an easy answer, but I'm going to go with the Rams because they are my hot take, my number one seed in the NFC. I think that team is literally disgusting. A lot of their defense was rookies or second year guys, and they just looked absolutely unbelievable at the end of the year last year. And then obviously, I'm going to call it an upgrade from Cooper Kupp to Devontae Adams is insane. Puka's coming back, new number, so he's got something to prove. Kyan Williams and Matthew Stafford, top 5 quarterback going into the next year for me. So I got outside of the NFC North, the biggest threat is the Rams.
Nice, nice. The way I looked at this, I'm gonna say my answer first, then I'll give a little explanation. I'm gonna say the Washington Commanders. We play them week 14, which, looking at the schedule, I think week 11 we're at home versus the Bears. Week 12 we go to Lambeau to play Green Bay. Week 13 we go to Seattle to play Seattle. Then week 14 we're at home versus the Commanders. But then we have we play basically the whole NFC East right there. We go Commanders, Dallas, New York, and I think that Commanders game week 14 is super duper pivotal in terms of how the last quarter of the season right there is going to turn out. If we can get a win there, I feel like we can kind of stack up quite a bit of a winning streak there towards the end of the year. So I think that is I think they're going to be the most pivotal team based on where we play them in our schedule.
Is
Plus
that
also,
go
what's
ahead?
up? I was going to
Go
say,
ahead.
plus also my dad is a Commanders fan, and if we lose, I will never hear the end of it. So
Um, is that New York game? Is that in Minnesota, or is that
that
in New York?
it is in New York.
Shoot.
Yeah,
All right.
no
Never mind.
Jackson Dart for you, but
Darn it! All right, I'll have to go freeze my ass out outside. Um, all right, and then to finish out the podcast, shout out Boom Broadcasting. Biggest sports story of 2025 so far, and you could go any route with this. Like I said, I'm a big basketball guy, and I think it's the biggest trade that we've seen, possibly damn near ever that I can think of off the top of my head, is Luka Doncic getting traded last or this year, I guess, to the Lakers. It wouldn't have been crazy if it would have been crazy, but it was to the Lakers. I think the LA is one of the biggest sports cities in the world, and he got traded at 25 for one first round pick and Anthony Davis. So now he's in LA, and I think that's playing with LeBron, the goat. I just think that story is unbelievable, and all the stuff that also has happened with Dallas getting the first overall pick, Kyrie sadly going down. So that whole situation is just, it's still, going on today. So I would say Luka getting traded kind of just blew up how trading goes because damn near freaking Desmond Bain got more than Luka did. So I think that's awesome. So yeah,
yeah.
Luka getting traded.
Yeah, that Desmond Bain trade, to be honest, that just depends how much you value in comparison to the Luka trade. Just depends on how much you value AD in terms of how many first
Sure.
round picks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, I'm torn between two. I think I'm just gonna have to go with the.
You can go both, dude. You can go both.
All right,
Go both.
all right. So one of the ones that I'm torn between is just the Indiana Pacers as a whole. From how bad they were, I guess, the beginning of the season, to definitely after the All-Star break being one of the best teams in the NBA, all the way up until playing in the NBA Finals, taking it to 7 games versus a team that, myself included, I will 100% put myself in that category, is thought that they had no chance of taking to 7 games or even possibly winning. Obviously I thought there was a slight chance, but obviously they took it to 7 games. It was as close as it could possibly be. So I think that's a huge story from this year, which made its way all the way up until today. The other one I was kind of torn between was the Aaron Rodgers decision. The only
decision.
I guess. The only reason I say that is because I feel like that was the Aaron Rodgers not making his decision until a couple weeks ago about what the hell he was going to do, really held up the free agent quarterback market for like the first 2 weeks of the free agency period. Everybody was wondering where Aaron was going to go, and once that domino fell, everybody was like, okay, then Russ is going to sign somewhere, then this person, then this person, then this person. But none of it ended up happening. Shocker, Aaron Rodgers just dragged the whole process out to make sure he got as much freaking headline mainstream news as possible. And then just eventually decided to go to the last team that was available, I guess.
And they traded George Pickens. Some of my buddies were telling me that he wanted that. I don't know how true that is, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I also think that the Steelers just didn't want to deal with all three of those people, guys, at the same time.
Dude, that would have been the worst locker room ever. George Pickens, DK Metcalf, and Aaron Rodgers. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Shout out Aaron Rodgers. He's the man on the field, but sometimes off the field it's just like, what is going on? But yeah, I think that's it, brother. I think this 2-man. I've gotten everyone now. I've gotten you, Connor, and Mason. So thank you for finishing that out with me.
The full cycle.
Hell yeah, brother.
I just need Mason. I just need me and Mason to do a pod one day.
Hopefully all 4 of us will be back next week. We'll figure that out during the week, but hopefully Mason and Connor are back. Alex, appreciate you doing this for me, brother.
Always.
Listen to Cheesehead the Bear podcast. Go Bears.
Featuring the Viking. Skull, baby.
Let's go.